Hi guys, how are you guys doing? So in this video today, I'll be talking about how I made a lot of money working in the care sector. I hope that people would not get mad or get crazy watching this video, but I think it's important for us for me to share this information, especially for people who are moving to Sweden or who have moved to Sweden and they don't know where to get the right information. Actually, when I came to Sweden, there was not a lot of this information out there. People who already moved to Sweden were not really giving out this information. It felt like people were hoarding the information for themselves. So I had to try my own way, and sometimes it went well, sometimes it didn't go well, but I didn't give up, and that's why I'm having this video and having this conversation with you guys. So let's jump into this video. And what did I say this video is all about? I'm going to share with you how I made a lot of money. You see, a lot of money? How I made money. How I made some good income working in the healthcare industry as a care assistant. So if you are looking for a job in Sweden, if you're new in Sweden, if you're trying to find your way in the career world in Sweden, if you're struggling to know where do you start, this video is for you, and you would get some tips, or from my experience, you'll be able to know how to stand or what to do. So I if you don't know so much about me, you can go through my videos. I came to Sweden to do my master's degree, and I stayed and I did other master's degrees, and as well I was looking for job as in Sweden. At first it was hectic, it was difficult. I couldn't get anything. The blatant things that were happening, or surname not being Swedish enough, and all of that, I almost gave up, but I didn't because I needed to pay my bills. Okay, I needed to pay my bills. So that led me to looking for jobs in different areas. I did work in the cleaning company, but I didn't have the experience of working in the cleaning company. So they terminated my contract. Like, they didn't even give me the contract. I went for my test and I failed because I was expected to clean villas, like people's villas. That's houses, for clean at least three houses under 2 hours. Like one house less than 2 hours, another house less than 2 hours, and all of that. And I cleaned one house under 6 hours or so. So they knew that they were not going to give me that job. They told me, we can give you this job. Like, anyways, you have all this degree. We don't think that this field is your field. God, I cried. I cried. So I left that cleaning job, and then I got into the elderly care. I did work in the elderly care few times. I worked in the elderly care, and I was really happy to get that job. But then I was like a vicariat. It was not a full time job. It was only when they needed me. So finally, I moved back to Stockholm. And when I moved back to Stockholm, I started looking for jobs everywhere as well, both in the corporate, outside of the corporate, and nothing was coming through, except I was only able to work for companies outside of Sweden at that point. So what changed is that I now saw on Facebook group. I was in one of the Facebook group. It was like an area. So in the area where I used to live at that time, they had a Facebook group. So I joined that Facebook group, and I saw where someone posted in the group that they're looking for a care assistant that lives in that same area. And they listed things that the person needs to be able to do, to speak Swedish, to all of that, all of that. At that point, my Swedish wasn't good. My Swedish was just the basic SFE, wasn't good at all. So immediately I saw that, I reached out to the person that posted the job, and I said, I'm interested. They said, send your CV. I sent my CV. And 2 days later, they invited me for an interview in the home of the person that I should be taking care of. So when I arrived, my Swedish was not my Swedish, like, so I did the interview in my bad Swedish, and lucky enough, I was very, very lucky that this woman didn't mind my Swedish. She didn't mind the poor situation of my Swedish. And after the interview, they said they would get back to me. We didn't. I think they mentioned something about salary. I didn't even. I was just, let me just get this job. The most important thing was for me to get the job. I didn't care about the salary. So 2 days later, they called me back and said they offered me the job. They offered me the job. God, I was so, so happy. At that time, I was living in a rented room. So in an apartment, I was renting a room in that apartment. So that means I was sharing the kitchen, the bathroom, everything with other people except my room. And the rent was not that expensive, okay. But as someone who didn't have a job, like who didn't have a good job or something, it was like, yeah, a big money. I think the first few months wasn't that easy to pay the rent, but then when I got this job, everything changed. So I started working with this woman, and she was very kind. She taught me Swedish. Like when I speak the bad Swedish, she would tell me this is the right way to pronounce, this is how to put it. And she was so lovely. Every day I came to work, like it felt like I was the sunshine in her life. Like every day I come to work, and immediately she sees me, she's so happy, she's buzzing, she wants to do a lot of things. And she wasn't, she was a bit sick at that point. She was sick. She's been in this what's it called, in a rule stool, and my assignment was to take care of her, make sure that she has everything that she needs. Like I was her beacon, I was her assistant for everything, just everything that you can think of, everything that a human being needs help to be able to live. But the thing was that this one was so, so nice, so kind. There's food in the house, like fruits. She makes sure that it's fruits every time for people that work with her. We talk about everything, even in my bad Swedish. We talked about things. We would listen to TV. We would play music. We would talk about what's happening in Sweden. She would tell me about her life, her career, about what we talked about everything. At that point, I was every month I had good pay, which was very good compared to where I was coming from. I had the pay. I had signed a contract. Like I think I worked with her for 3 weeks, and after that, she gave me a full-time contract. Like, yeah. And uh, and the most beautiful thing about that was she not only gave me the contract, she also was contributing to my pension. Yeah, some small companies don't do that. Even in the healthcare industry, they don't even contribute for your pension to your pension. But this woman was contributing to my pension via my salary, and I didn't know that. She just was telling me everything about Sweden. She said, in case you get a job elsewhere, make sure that they are contributing to your pension. It will help you when you retire. So she was giving me a lot of information. She was even like a mom to me, like she was like a mother to me. We talked about everything, boyfriends, relationships, and she really wanted me, like she didn't want me to have to get into the wrong relationship. She was so, so kind. Then, as I continued to work with her, I now went back one day and said, I don't really feel comfortable with my salary. I think I deserve more. I do a lot. I do my work diligently. I'm happy doing my job. I'm very comfortable being with this woman. I love my job. And my job meant that, like I said, I am the care assistant to this woman. We go to the hospitals, we go anywhere, we go every and everywhere. I make sure that we go to the appointments on time, and make sure that the medicine that she needs, that she's taking it, and make sure that everything is as it should be. Okay. But at a point, I said, my pay, I think I want an increase. So I went to her and I said, I want an increase. I deserve an increase. And she asked, why do you deserve an increase? I said, because I've been doing my job well. I'm doing like everything you asked me to do. I've been doing that. And I have the experience, I have the education, even though it's not in the healthcare, but I have everything. And I think that I deserve a raise. At first, she didn't like it. She didn't like it, but after a while, she reviewed my salary and increased it. So how did I make 45 to, let's say 45,000 kroner after tax? 45,000 crowns after tax. How was I able to make that amount of money? So I worked holidays, and when you work holidays, you get extra pay. I worked evenings and nights. Yes, I worked 24. There were days I worked 24/7. Like I worked 24, not 7. I didn't, yeah, there were days I worked half hours, like half a day job. So I start in the evening around, let's say 7 p.m., and I end 7 a.m. So, and I also worked when my other colleagues were sick. I took their time as well. So I worked a lot with this woman. Like I said, holidays. I worked even when people were sleeping at night, and I was paid per hour. I was paid for each hour. Okay, so because of this, I had a lot of salary at the end of the month. And to top it all, so when I was looking for that job, I was also looking for job in other places. I sent my CV to other places. So one other company reached out to me and were like, "Oh, we are inviting you for an interview." So I went to the interview for that other company, and I went to not different interviews for that company, and finally, they gave me a job. They said, "Oh, we like you. We think we want you to work for us and all of that. You'll be taking care of another woman as well in another part of Stockholm, which was far from where I live. But for me, I needed the job. I needed the job. I needed the money. Okay. So they said, but then we have other full uh, time employees who we've given contracts, full time job. We will not give you a full time contract. We can only give you a vicariat. So when we need you, we'll call you. When the people who are in the job are sick, they cannot come, then we will call you. So in the first few months, they didn't call me. But then when I started working with this other lady, like a month after, they decided to call me to work. So I only accept to work when I make sure that the work timeline for them doesn't crash with my full time contract with this woman that I was taking care of. So that meant that some days I will work from 7 p.m. to 7 a.m. and then go back home, take a shower, and rush to the other place and work from, let's say, from 9 till 5 p.m. or 6 p.m. in the evening, and then come back again, take a shower, and go to the other place to work. And I didn't do that all the time because the job came like randomly, and so that meant that at the end of the month, I'm earning salary from two employers. So after the taxation and everything, I would look at my bank account and I would see whooping amount of money. I was like, who am I? Like, who am I? How did this happen? Who am I? So that was how I was able to make that amount of money after tax. And at a point, I had to also go back to the other company and renegotiate my salary. I think that even when they were offering me the job, I negotiated my salary very well because I'm like, I have a full time job, I have a good contract with this person. So if they don't want to give me, that's their own business. This is just a side job for me. So I negotiated my salary. I think they said, oh, we cannot pay you something like this. We don't pay others that much. And I said, that's how much I earn where I'm working. So if you cannot give it to me, then that's it. So, but then they came back and offered me that what I asked for, and it was interesting that at the end of the month, as a care assistant, after taxation, I was going home with not less than 45,000 kroner in my bank account. I used to be on TikTok, and I made a video about this saying that as a care assistant people who work as special care assistants, care assistants can make a lot of money, even more than nurses in this country. And people came to the comment section to say, "Oh, you're joking, you're lying, you're all of that." I decided to just keep my mouth shut. I decided to keep my mouth shut. But yes, people can make that amount of money. One thing in Sweden is that people are afraid to negotiate. The Swedes are afraid to negotiate. Not all Swedes, but Swedes who work in the care sector are usually afraid to negotiate their salaries. And they're usually comfortable with the law, gum, jantelagen, law, gum, the law, gum. So when I meet people like negotiate your pay, sometimes you might be lucky, sometimes you might not, but just just negotiate. Just negotiate. It might not be something so high. It might just be something just 5 kroner more, 2 kroner more, 1 kroner more, something. Just try to negotiate your pay, and also if it's possible. I don't think it's that possible in Sweden to negotiate your pay every year or something. But I was able to do that with my role. I was able to negotiate my pay. Okay. Anyway, that's all that I want to say in this video. I have to go to town now to pick up my phone. My phone has arrived. Yes, as you know, I edit my videos on my phone, so I had to get the new iPhone with more space because that's where I edit all my videos, my pictures, and everything. So I'm off to town to pick it up. Anyway, I hope this video was able to help somebody to just, I hope you learned one thing or two from this video. Don't be afraid to negotiate. People can work in the healthcare and still make comfortable money. There is money in Sweden. There is money in Sweden. You just need to find the job and the right employer and also to negotiate. Anyway, I'll see you guys in the will I say in the next video? I think I will bring you guys to town. I'm going in to pick up my phone, so I'll bring you guys with me. And please don't forget to like, subscribe, and thank you for watching. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you for watching my videos and for leaving your lovely comments. And I'm bringing you guys to the city, like I said. Did I say to the city? I'm bringing you guys to go pick up my phone, okay? And I might go to IKEA to pick up something. I'm not sure. Seriously, I need to save money. I have no interest in spending anything, spending unnecessarily. I need to save money. So I might go to IKEA or I might not go to IKEA. But yeah, I'll bring you guys like along. Now I have to wait till it's my turn for them to help me put the screen guard. Need them to help me put the screen guard to this phone. And that's all I need from them for today. They helped me put on my last phone, and that one lasted without any scratches. So I want to do that on this one again.